I was at work in Ohio at a factory. I was a press operator, and I was making products. And it was about 8:45, and I was taking my break. Right. And I went into the break room, and I was tired, and I remember I was laying my head down, and I was like, I didn't even bring any food that day. And I went up to the vending machine, and that's when I heard an announcement at work. They're like, America's being attacked. And then I remember I have radios at work, so I took a bag of chips, and I left the break room, and I went into the changing area, and I sat on a bench, and I had a radio in there, and I was listening to what was happening. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And they let us leave work early that day.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, so I got my work done. Like, I really didn't have much to do. Like, I was doing piecework, and like, not everybody left, but they let me go early because I didn't really have much to do. And I was like, I went home, and I was watching the news, and I seen it happen, like the planes going, like
in real time.
Yeah, because I was at work, and then they let me go early, so because of what was happening, and then I was watching the news like all day, and I seen the buildings fall, and I was like, what the hell? And then like,
yeah,
I mean, and then you believe everything you hear that day, and forever I believed everything the government said, and like they're like instantly pushed. If you don't believe, like, there's thoughts and people saying this doesn't look right. But they're like so much, everyone in the news, like, if you don't agree with everything the government says, you're not patriotic.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. And like, we need to attack. We need to attack them back fast. And not.
Yeah, that's what I saw at the Flight 93 Memorial. It wasn't just, hey, these people died heroically. You know, they died heroically, and we need to go after who did it, which is, I thought it was a bit strange for a memorial, because, you know, memorials are just like straight up. But yeah, on 9/11, real quick, I woke up to get my kids ready to go to school, and I thought they were playing an action movie on TV. I thought it was like a new Bruce Willis movie or something. I'm like half awake, you know, I'm sitting there with a cup of coffee. I'm going, why do they have an action movie on it during the day? Like, why isn't there like kids shows on?
Yeah, you didn't even know it was real.
I mean, it was so, yeah, I didn't even know it was real.
So
crazy.
People say the perfect crime. That's because this would have been a perfect crime. Anytime you hear the term a perfect crime, that means the person got caught. The perfect crime is the one where that phrase is never used.
Right.
Because people never figure out it was a crime.
Good point.
The perfect crime would have happened, but I believe Flight 93 was supposed to hit Tower 7.
Okay, so...
which would have made the case for all three going down.
Right. So you think that Flight 93 was being diverted back towards New York,
yes,
not Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
So that was perhaps a made-up story that it was going to Washington, D.C.?
Yes. Perfect crime, that's where the perfect crime is stopped. Tower 7 came down for no reason.
There's so much to this story. I mean, we could spend days, weeks, talking about everybody that saw something, everybody that has an opinion. But the reason we brought everybody here was to give our opinion.
Yeah. Now, for years, I didn't buy into any conspiracy theories, and I just believed what the government said. I'll tell you that. I just didn't look into it too much. My eye seeing it, I thought it looked like a controlled demolition. When I saw it, I was like, someone bringing that down. And then they're saying that it wasn't. It was just the planes later. I was like, that doesn't make sense. But I still believed it because you're pissed off at terrorists. And you got this you're making emotional decisions. Most people are making emotional decisions on what they've seen. Even I did. I was like, what the hell? We need to get those bastards.
Everybody was in shock.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
I mean, we're all building memories off of a tragedy over here. No one's going to ever forget that day. There's a lot of people that benefited from this. And people would say, well, why would people ever kill people to benefit. Yeah, for billions and trillions of dollars, they would, because they don't have remorse for people because they don't know them.
Right.
It's the same way. That's how humans are. We are not remorseful to the point where it strikes us to the core.
Right.
We'll see things as sad, but we are not going to be. We're not going to lose sleep. You know what I mean? Like you read the obituary, you're like, oh, that's sad, but you don't lose sleep over it unless you personally knew someone.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think people that benefited from this tragedy happening, I don't think they lose any sleep at all. The Patriot Act was implemented within 45 days of this happening.
Right.
When in the world does Congress get stuff passed that fast? When is something written that quickly? I mean, it's not that the fact that it was written quickly. People say, oh, you can write stuff quickly. No, you can't. You can't pick out detailed stuff so quickly. It takes months to write bills sometimes.
Right.
With intricate details.
Well, it goes to show that they had it ready.
Yeah, they had stuff ready.
The government knew that it was going to happen.
They needed an excuse to pass this stuff.
Right. So it was either the government or the owner of the Twin Towers put in explosives so it would fall.
Yes.
The government wins. The owners of the trade tower wins.
New buildings will be built.
New buildings.
The buildings would have cost more to fix them than what they were worth at the time.
Right.
Because of the asbestos and other upgrades that were needed.
Right. Wars can be started.
Halliburton can make trillions of dollars.
Right. Money's being made.
Trillions of dollars.
Still.
And the
money.
question is, do people do things for money? Do people do horrible things for money?
Right.
Yeah, people do horrible things for money all the time. And why would they need more control with the Patriot Act? I think it's because right at this time period, technology was exploding. Like,
right,
people,
cell phones.
Cell phones were just starting to explode. Now you got smartphones today. You got all this technology exploding, and they didn't have the laws on the books to watch people with this technology.
Right.
So they needed laws to expand to surveil people for this new upcoming technology.
Right.
The laws were behind the books on technology surveillance, so they needed an excuse to expand their laws and their reach.
Yeah, that's right.
So I've never really heard people talk about that, like the technology side.
Right.
But you think about it now, just within the last few years, they got these secret FISA courts, and people are being unmasked by the government. They call it unmasking, where they, for any reason, you don't even have to have a good reason. They can just say, we need to look at this Joe Schmo.
Right.
So they go to a secret court where they get a secret warrant. And it's all done in secrecy, and you don't even know you're being watched.
Right.
Like, you and I could be being watched right now.
I mean, from 9/11 till today, the end of 2017, the technology is amazing just in that time period.
People are dying today still from that day. They're getting cancer rates are like astronomical from the thermite found in their lungs. They breathe in the dust clouds that exploded out from the buildings.
Health effects still being felt.
People are still dying today from that.
Yeah.
It's just a tragedy. So the American people felt a lot of pain that day, and they're still feeling it. Missing gold. There was supposedly like $160 billion in gold bars stored there, and only $200 million was recovered.
Right.
So where did that gold go?
It's a good point.
I mean, there's so many question marks. And if this was like a small case, it was like someone murdered someone, it was like, and there's this many question marks, people would still be investigating.
Yeah.
And they did that 9/11 report, and there's a lot of question marks in that report.
Yeah, if you would take all the evidence from 9/11 and you took it in front of a judge and you took it in front of a jury you can convict somebody with the evidence that's available. With the photos and the thermite, a jury would go, oh yeah, guilty.
Yeah, reasonable.
If you could put just one person
Yeah.
up for it, for the charge.
So, but I think it would have been the perfect crime.